C
Yeah, and I did that.
absent.
And I did that.
That's one. The second one I know I requested changes to particularly was the December 6th minutes, which has some extraneous information that were not discussed during the meeting. And I don't want to argue over that. I'm just
Well, the issue
please,
is, no,
please.
no, I don't wanna argue, the
I'm gonna
issue,
move on.
no, sorry, I
Well,
need, just one comment. The issue is not that I don't want to implement the changes. The issue is, first of all, that I don't understand what changes I need to implement. The second issue is that if I receive, if the executive board and general council members give me different requests in terms of minutes, so if one member says, I want this in the minutes, and the other one says, I want that in the minutes, I can't prioritize, like, I either need to make the decision on my own, or I need to have the general council vote on it,
You
like.
have the general council vote on, that's how we've always done it.
Okay.
I'll just say this and move on from this topic. December 6th minutes, in particular, I asked you to take away the email that was not part of that meeting. That's simply political propaganda, and as long as that email remains in that minute, you just don't want us to approve
I'm
it.
sorry, the problem is it's not political propaganda. The problem is it wasn't actually said there.
It wasn't said at the meeting. That's my first.
Why it does not read in the minutes.
So you deciding to leave that in the minutes, knowing that that was not discussed in the meeting, it's uncalled for. But then there's no other persons from Maria comments. We're going to move on to the next person, which I want to go with. Jim, is Jim ready to speak?
I didn't know you wanted him to do that.
While we wait, Daniel.
I have sent out a detailed report. I'll send one out later this week. Things continue apace. We're wrapping up to try and get, Jesse and I are going to try and get something set up so that the next few weeks, at least pick up the legislative stuff, move on. And yeah, that's basically all I'm going to say right now.
Any questions or comments for Daniel? Daniel, do you want to, Daniel, sorry. Did you want to give us a view of this in regards to other committees, details, if you have any?
There aren't any further updates past the passing the budget for the security stuff. We really don't have, I think it's really due to lack of interest in managing my part and other people's parts. Stuff that we're trying to put in where it was to us. So, yeah, how about that stuff?
Thank you. Any questions?
I sent him a message here.
Okay. Let me know if you decide to do the report.
Okay.
People will Jasmine is with us.
I mean, already on our report, so if anyone has any questions, I can absolutely answer them, but other than that, I don't really know if we need to discuss it.
Okay. I believe also Jasmine's report. Any questions or comments on that? Seeing none, move over to you, EVP.
The only thing that I would like to highlight is the new graduate professional student spotlight that I created for social media. We'll be making posts on Facebook and Instagram because I can really have more detailed information there. I'll probably like retweet some stuff on Twitter, but not to the extent of the detail that would be on Facebook and Instagram, just because we have paragraphs in both of those formats. We already have 6 posts scheduled on the Facebook page. I will be doing the Instagram posts as I proceed because you can't schedule Instagram. But the next EVP, they can take over. Again, the posts on Facebook are already scheduled, so I'll just basically give them a list of people who have expressed interest above and beyond the people that I have scheduled on Facebook and say, here are the people who have responded. Go from there. And I told most people to either send an email to gpsc@email.arizona or to the GPSC Executive Vice President email address. So they won't come to me, but if I do happen to get any, I'll just forward them to whoever the next person is next year. The other thing I would like to highlight is I think that I said my goal for the year was fundraising, maybe, something like that. The goal originally was to start fundraising externally. I think that we've done a good job of getting some great groundwork in place for that for the future years. There's a lot under the table with that. It's not just as easy as saying, give us money, because we don't want to step on other departments' toes who might already be approaching people. And Sarah and I've had that conversation, so I've kind of let her have free rein about like working with that and working with Razor's Edge and all that kind of stuff, the foundation account, etc. Personally, I donated $10,900, which was my stipend for my position to GPSC. We will be using some of that money to buy election software. I believe GC will be voting on it. Megan had come up with this idea. That way the outreach/online people can vote in the upcoming election or in a subsidiary in the coming weeks.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
They'll be
There
voting
will be.
tomorrow.
Okay, great.
Just like everyone else.
So,
Tomorrow.
I guess the program's already been purchased, but they just aren't sure what line item they're gonna pull it from yet. I was very successful along with Storm on SSFAB in terms of internal fundraising, so I would recommend in the future that we put very strong speakers who are very aware of the GPSC platforms on SSFAB, because there are only 4 graduate students and the rest of the people on the board are undergraduate students, so we really need people who are there to advocate on behalf of GPSC, and I think we did a really outstanding job of that this year. I think in total, we have a massive increase, especially with travel grants. So even though there were cuts in some other areas, they did ask us to prioritize what we wanted, and that was the thing I think that everybody on the council had echoed, that their constituents wanted, that they wanted to see more of. That was the thing we were really missing this year. I had additional information in the summary report. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to take them.
Are there any questions or comments for Danielle?
Jim said you can.
Okay,
I have a question.
go on.
So Danielle, for Student Spotlight, how do you propose, what do you think, how do we sustain it? I think the problem would be try to figure out how to get people to have things to post.
Yeah.
What is your plan for that?
So I did some outreach this morning at the breakfast. I asked all of the directors of graduate study to forward a document that I created out to their students with basically the little questionnaire, and tell them if they wanted to send it to their students, they could do that. If they knew somebody they wanted to nominate, they could just give me their information and I'd contact them directly. I also, Shelly Hawthorne Smith, who is in charge of external grants, local grants, all sorts of grants and scholarships for graduate students. She was at the meeting this morning, and she told me that she would be able to get me any major external awardees from DAAD, which is a German national fellowship. They give that to U.S. citizens to go study in Germany. NSF, Fulbright, those types of things. I think that this is something that can self-sustain itself, because there's always going to be new grad students getting new awards, right? And that's the thing that we want to highlight. Not just people who are getting scholarships, but people that are doing like anything in the community that has a really big effect, right? Anything like that. I also asked Janet Sherman, I gave her the information as well, and said, please, she's the associate dean of the graduate college, which for those of you who don't know. I told her to please let me know if she knew of anybody. I also reached out to Beth Stammer, who is the Social and Behavioral Sciences Research Institute director. That's an internal grant within social and behavioral, and she has an email of all of the directors of graduate studies and the department heads in social and behavioral, so she's reaching out to them. Jasmine sent me information for engineering. So again, I mean, this is just legwork that, it's not really hard legwork, you just have to get the program out there. And actually Shelley said that they have been thinking a long time about starting something like this, so I think that we can definitely partner with, what is it, like Global Research something, I don't remember their program, but it's through the grad college umbrella. We can partner with them to keep this rolling, I'm sure. She's in charge of, she's one of the people for Office of Fellowships and Community Engagement, along with Georgia Ellers. So I think that this is something that once we get enough people, and that was what I was trying to do, is have enough posts scheduled ahead of time that the person, when they come in, there's not so much of a learning curve in terms of they have to come in and immediately start getting posts. I'm trying to make sure that there's enough scheduled ahead of time where all they have to do is supplement with Instagram posts, but the Facebook post will be ready to go, so they'll just be copying and pasting basically. They'll have the pictures available, all of that.
Just to add to that, another thing we can do is when Carol sends out a newsletter, you can have send out like a call for nomination or whatever to all grad students, so people who are interested in being Spotlight can nominate themselves for someone they know.
And I actually told her to include that in the next newsletter. I think I'll follow up with her to make sure that it's in the one, if not this one, but the next one.
Alright, if there's no other further questions for Danielle, we'll hear from Jim.
Okay. Say so. Okay, I can't.
Okay, while you're trying,
Can
is that
you
okay
just
with you trying?
send a written report in?
While you're trying to sort that out, for me, I'm gonna send a detailed report to the council and everyone, hopefully before next GC meeting, and take any questions from the general council members as well at the next GC meeting. If you highlight, which you all know already, I think this year in terms of advocacy, we were successful with a number of things that every one of us should be proud of. It's not me. We all did it together. Starting with the fee guarantee for grad students, I think that's one thing that we should all leave, knowing that we did that or we laid that foundation. It's something we should be proud of. The athletic fee, which we're able to get a 50% half the price, and also get an opt-out option for grad students, is also something you should be excited about. Also in terms of advocacy, I'm glad that we did a number of things with regards to DACA students, course fees. Now last week at the ABLE meeting, unfortunately, they did approve the chemistry course fee, and that's because the way they make the motion, it was obviously impossible not to approve it. The motion is to approve all of the things in the summary, which included chemistry course fee, music, engineering program fee, and all of that. So there was no way they could not approve it. But however, as much as we lost that battle, I think we might win a bigger war, which is that ABLE has started discussion to roll up course fees in general. Last week at the ABLE meeting, ABLE President Klein discussed that. Myself and Mikey will follow up with progress tomorrow, and also bring up by the next Senate Executive meeting to see how we can roll up course fees in general. Probably just have them be program fees. There are a number of other things I'll send out in my summary, but I think those are some things that we should all be excited about, and as we leave these positions shortly, know that irrespective of the challenges we had this year, we did accomplish a number of things. And also our services, travel grant especially, that was one of my biggest concern as soon as I came into this role last year. The very first discussion I had with Melissa, I remember, was GPSA needs a permanent funding for its travel grant program. And that discussion started from last year and on up to this year. Thanks to Danielle and Storm, who also chimed in that conversation and made it a reality. So thanks for everything you have done this year. You all have done this year. One last thing, LaGuardia is not going to have a rent increase because of your effort as well. So thanks to you all. So I'll send out a detailed report of everything I have to say before next meeting, take questions. Is Jim ready to?
I have a quick question actually.
Okay.
So ABLE was supposed to vote on the proposed fee increases and athletics fee creation, right? Did they just approve everything?
So that's the tricky thing. The way they made their motion, they made 3 motions. One was for tuition,
Okay.
the other was for fees in general, that's athletic and mandatory fees.
Okay.
And the third was for course fee, program fee. No, I think one was for fees and course fee and program fee, and then the last one was for housing and food and whatever. They kind of
Oh.
lumped it up
Yeah, I
all
think
together.
actually room and board increase might also go through.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was 3 or 4 motions together, but they all lumped it up together, which made it really hard to. I knew the chemistry fee thing wasn't gonna pass as soon as I heard them making these motions that way. But what I'm super excited about is the head of President Klein actually saw me on Wednesday, and appreciated the fact that we sent that memo to them, and she takes it really seriously. So with that said, I don't know if you have a report, but there are 2 things I wanted to discuss with you guys before you leave. It's not on the agenda, but I'd like us to talk about it together. Do you have a report? Okay. So 2 things. And I don't know if you want to stop your recording, and also we probably don't want this on the daily wildcard, what I want to talk about.
Okay, so do you wanna just adjourn the meeting in that case?
I mean, people can stay, it's not anything hidden, but I just don't wanna have it in the report.
Yeah, but if we adjourn the meeting, then I just couple live stream, there's no minutes of it, we're fine.
Okay, is there another thing on our agenda that needs to
Nope.
be discussed? No, so let's, is there a motion to adjourn?
I have to adjourn.
Second,
Second.
meeting adjourned.
All right.